astounding gains for the month so far, though, over 5% on the S&P. The volume might not be great, but the price action will look very attractive to a lot of people. Where do you think we'll be by the end of the year?
I think we're fairly valued at the 1225 to 1250 region for the S&P 500. So my biggest concern is, we've gone through this 70% rally. If we get up to 1225, 1250 in that range for the S&P, that'll be upwards of an 85% rally from the lows. I think that's about as good as it gets, because we have to start seeing a Fed that's going to be less accommodative. I think second half GDP growth will moderate. I also think earnings expectations for 2011 are too high, so if some of those estimates are reduced in the second half of this year, we could see some increased volatility.
But at the same time, if we get 300,000 gain on the employment report on Friday, surely that's a game changer, because that negates the possibility, we could argue, of double dip. That's huge, isn't it, for earnings expectations and valuations into 2011, 2012.
Absolutely, but if we're able to see, if half of that gain is from private sector as opposed to census workers, then I'll be pleased. But I'm not convinced, absent the public sector, we're going to see such strength. So I think the real key for investors to discern Friday's employment report will be to strip out the census hiring.
We have heard from a number of corporations over the last week or so about charges they're going to take because of the passage of the health care bill. Kind of obscured in all that is charges as a result of the end of a subsidy, not necessarily increases in health care costs. But at any rate, my question is, should we expect more of that? Is it something we should worry about?
I think that's a good reason, Mark, why we could see earnings expectations reduced from, say, the consensus $90 estimate in 2011. I think costs are going to be increasing. I think taxes are going to increase on some of these plans, and we're already seeing 4 or 5 major corporations within the past week take pretty significant charges, highlighted by the $1 billion charge from AT&T.
So we'll continue, and it is significant.
Yes, sir, on both counts.
Okay, John, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The view beyond the big picture.
Final countdown, the opening bell coming right up again, the 1520 Joy Model CR open.
And some first quarter spring cleaning. There are new leaders and losers in the market. We'll break down which sectors you might want to add to your portfolio and which you probably can't.